My name's Adam Robinson. My business is called Damson. We're the most security-focused IT provider in the Northwest. So we work with Northwest businesses, typically with between 20 and 150 staff. And we make sure that they're using IT correctly in a way that can help them reach their full potential, but most importantly that they're using it securely, because there's a lot of risks involved these days with cyber security. I first met Adam when I just started my business, and it was actually just me in the business, and what I was doing was I was going around local businesses and literally knocking on doors, and that was how I met Adam. And you know, as you probably gathered, my marketing experience was very sort of haphazard, because the business that I was in was IT. I'd trained as a technician and I'd never educated myself in marketing. What I always knew was possible, but I didn't know how to get there, was a case of having a business come to you. And what Adam, you know, as opposed to having to go out and kind of scrabble around for the business, knock on doors, it's very draining. It takes a lot of energy, and you get a no a lot of the time, because as an entrepreneur, you know the value in what you're doing, and you think that everybody should be coming on board with it. Since working with Adam, even in one session, what we've identified is exactly who do we add the most value to, and where are those people going to look, and how can we pre-qualify whether we can work with somebody before we've actually invested too much time and energy and money on them, which works well at both ends, because it means that we're not wasting our time, we're not wasting their time. Paying up front for a session like that is a big leap of faith, really, because it's something that's quite intangible to begin with. And especially, I've worked with a number of different marketing companies before, where as an entrepreneur with quite a strong mindset, I'm going in with an idea, and that idea might actually not be a good idea, but it's what I'm thinking. And so rather than somebody just saying, yeah, go for that, working with Adam, he'll actually challenge you and say, well, you know, what about this, or sometimes say, actually, no, that's a rubbish idea, and let's start over. And it's that honesty and it's that integrity that really makes Adam stand out. So really, you know, the first part of working with Adam is, you know, he'll interrogate you on your business, and sometimes, because it is your business, for a lot of entrepreneurs, I suppose that would be quite uncomfortable, because it's almost like you know, it's quite an in-depth questionnaire, if you will. In the first session, we covered a lot of ground, and we went into such detail that we didn't actually get everything done that we'd perhaps wanted to. But the flip side of that was that there were so many ideas that we can actually put into practice straight away as a result of covering those first few pointers, that actually we've not only identified the ideas and the way that we're going to execute them, but also how we can measure it. And so when we can measure it, we'll be able to get an indication of what the ROI is. So I'm sure that if everything goes to plan, and if these ideas, you know, work as we want them to, then, you know, it would be insanity not to reinvest on the same basis, and in fact do it continually to audit all aspects of your marketing. I think personal development is really important in business, and you know, you learn skills every day that you can apply, not just now but also in the future. So when Adam first suggested that we have a catapult session, for me it was a big leap of faith, and I kind of went into it with the mindset of even if I just learn one thing that, you know, perhaps leads to picking up a couple of new contracts, it's paid for itself. But most importantly, I've learned something. And the first session we covered so much ground and identified so many different aspects of marketing that we're just not actually picking up on and making use of, that it just completely exceeded expectations. So when I first started my business, I considered a brand as a logo and a letterhead and a business card and that sort of thing. And what I've learned recently is that actually the brand goes beyond that into how your customers feel when they deal with your company, i.e. when they take you up on your product or your service. What Adam's started to show me now is that it actually goes a step further than that in terms of my actual personal brand as an entrepreneur, how I, everything from how you dress to what car you drive to, anytime you're seen to be associated with your business or with your customer's business, how it makes them feel and what impression it gives off. And also that, whilst you're there to give a great service, you also reserve the right to be picky and choosy about who you work with, because those businesses that you choose are going to get the most out of your brand, and they're the ones who are going to recommend you and bring more business through the door. Meeting with Adam's made it clear from day one that it's all about return on investment, but actually we've really ripped up the rule book today, and I consider myself an open-minded entrepreneur and a very sort of versatile, dynamic. I like to try new things, but still some of the things that have emerged today have actually surprised me and shocked me a little bit into thinking, well, that's my thought pattern, but actually that's just a result of things that I've been told in the past. And actually when you're innovating, you need to throw the rule book out the window. So there's a case there where you're saying, well, would you use Adam again? Well, based on ROI, if things come into fruition the way that we plan, definitely, without shadow of a doubt. Even if they don't, or if some of them work or some of them don't, we've come up with ideas today that I would never have come up with on my own. And the nature of ideas is that not every good idea will earn you money, but it's important that those ideas come out anyway. So yeah, absolutely, even if you take ROI out of it, if I was ever facing a business problem and I felt like I was up against the wall, I'd have no hesitation going to Adam just to bounce ideas back and forth with another Catapult session, just to get the ideas out there. If you're thinking about working with the brand Chap, you need to ask yourself, do you just want to bring in a couple of customers, keep pootling along, as perhaps you've always done? If that's the case, I would say working with Adam probably isn't for you. If you're passionate, energetic, and you want your business to be the best that it can be, and as a result of that, bring in huge amounts of business through the door and hype and buzz about your business, then you need to give Adam a call.